Hey guys, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and we're taking a look at a vehicle we bought from auction, and we are sending this one to the USA, but not really the USA, but kind of yes, the USA. And so this one's going to Guam, which is the US territory, and so their import regulations are going to be the same as the USA. Car has to be 25 years old in order to import it. And so this one here is a 1991 Nissan Skyline GTR. 183,844 kilometers on this one, which is rather high for a GTR, but the condition of this one is just so good. It's like this. Yeah. And 183, usually they're pretty rough, and so we're gonna see how good this one is. This one has a big smile on my face because I love it when customers get good cars. Okay, so an RB26 DETT engine. According to a sticker here, the timing belt was changed at 167,000 kilometers in 2010, and so it has had 20,000 kilometers in the last 7 years, which means very low mileage from the most recent owner, I would say. Okay, air filters are HKS aftermarket ones that have crumbled, and so that means that you are going to get little air filter particles into your engine. Now that's not going to hurt your engine very much because fabric particles like that generally can't scratch metal that much, but good to replace those because you're sucking in dirty Japanese air. Bleh. Anyways, back to the check over. So no corrosion inside the engine bay. We have a Nismo strut tower bar there. Coolant looks good and the oil looks good, and so those have been kept in good condition over the years, I guess. Just gonna lower here. And the Skyline engines, they are typically really easy to tell the condition of the engine based on how they feel with the revving. I think maybe the individual throttle bodies are part of that. I don't know if you can see, but this one here actuates the first 3 throttle bodies, and that one over there actuates the next 3. And so, unlike most cars, which will have one over here, this one has a single one for each cylinder, and that's kind of like a race car thing. Ferraris and Nissan Skylines and M3s have those. And so, very cool. Okay, so gorgeous looking car and in pretty much stock condition. Makes it that much sweeter. So let's go over the auction inspection sheet. This is the information given to us from the auction, and it's really bright today, and so I'm hiding over here with the sticks and nuts. Okay, so 1991 Skyline GTR, this 2600cc inline 6-cylinder. This is an auction grade R because it has been in an accident, and I'm going to go over that first thing. Left baffle and left side inner panel have dent or deformation. So what this is those areas were bent in the accident and were formed back into the shape that they're supposed to be in, but they can't get it 100% when you do an accident repair. And so these are the 2 areas of damage. Now, Japanese R grade just means it has been repaired. It could be a very small accident that causes that. And based on the notes on that one, I would say that this one is in the category of a very small accident. It looks good, all the lines line up well, paint is good. Basically, it's I would say better than most that have been in an accident, and so that's good. Now, of course, to the buyer, they get to know if it's been in an accident and decide how much to bid on that accordingly. Accident grade cars will sell for a little bit less, but not an awful lot less. It depends on the type of car though. Anyway, let's go over the rest of this. Sales points here. Oh, 183,844 kilometers, and still had current registration until December of this year, and so almost an entire year left. Toll collection box, Nissan Twin Cam 24 valve intercooler twin turbo, tower bar, and what is this? Rear spoiler. Ooh, thanks for telling us that. It's the stock rear spoiler. Electronic boost valve, control valve, so optionally you can run a higher boost if you want. Wheels, aftermarket wheels, keyless entry with a question mark on it. Front accident has been repaired. Seat is dirty. Oh, this is the auctions inspection. Seat is dirty, steering wheel wear. And keep in mind these things while I'm going over the condition. Door trim has a small rip in it. Rear seat has fade on the upper section of it. Aftermarket air filter, suspension, and exhaust. Left baffle, I already said that, and left inner panel dented. AC doesn't work. It actually does, and sadly we sent this to the mechanic to get that checked on the customer's request, but it turned out that there was nothing broken with it, so it does work. Underside dented, and scuff on the front bumper here, repaint marks here and here. Okay, Now I mentioned in the walk around or the side panel check, one of the other videos that comes with the report, that I thought that the car may have been repainted completely because it's weird for the paint to be in as glossy condition considering the age of the paint. 25-year-old paint usually has some marks. I'm gonna go quickly here because my neighbor is wanting to get out. Thank you. He's super nice. And so it may have been repainted. If it was done pretty well. You can see the W2 in some places. That's a repainted section or paint wave. And that's on this back section here mostly. That's the worst of it. And I'll give you an up close on that when we get around there. Okay, so good looking. Let's look at some of the details now. Front bumper lip, these are typically not black. This one has been painted black. And scuff on the underside here with some fine paint cracks. Okay. This section here has some cracks, but they're very mild compared to your average one. Now if it has been repainted, all the trim was taken off because there is no paint tape marks. Usually when someone paints something and the trim is left on, they'll tape over the trim and then you'll see where the cut is between the tape and the paint. None of that. So if it was repainted, those were all replaced. This is coming off a tiny bit. This is a common place for them to come off a lot. Like when they shrink, they pull away from the corner there. That one's pretty good. I'm going to show you the W2 over here. Now in particular you can see like right here and a little bit down there. Now no signs of rust, and so that's thumbs up. They're 2014 tires, Toyo Proxies, so some nice high-end tires. It's always good when somebody who owns a car like this spends some money to get a good set of tires because they'll make a big difference on a car like the GTR. Okay, electric folding mirrors work, power windows are good. Go inside the car now. Doors pop open nicely. Now the door trims small rips. They're on the driver's side here and right here. Okay, steering wheel is the original one and in super nice condition. Okay, seats have no rips and are very nice. Very nice for being seats that are almost as old as I am. I guess 2/3 as old as I am. Okay, regular gauges, which is good. So many of them have aftermarket gauges. It only goes up to 180, but if you're driving on the streets, you usually don't get higher than that. No deformation of the dashboard. This is a big deal because dashboards are in very small supply because they all deform, and everybody who has a GTR wants one that's not deformed, and so prices are super high at the moment. This is very good, very good. Okay, no bad smell inside the car. It's really good. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in this review, but I see enough cars to know that when you see one with higher mileage to understand what the condition is generally going to look like. And if somebody told me that this car had maybe 100,000 kilometers or 90,000 kilometers, then I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't think, wow, that looks like it's too low. Okay, so that's basically the end of the walk around here. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. If you're the owner of this vehicle, feel free to email us directly if you have questions about that. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.